And Ron, my friend, it's such an honor to have you for the first time on our Quebec radio show. For people that don't recognize your face or your voice, who the hell are you, man?
Well, hi everybody. I'm Nick. I play in Podium. I play guitar in Podium, and yeah, that's me.
It's so cool to have you. I discovered the project recently. I love it. I love the energy. I love the vibe. I love the spirit. It's really punk rock. It's DIY, and it really blew my mind. I mean, we see that you give everything, like the energy physically and the energy psychologically are fueled with some soundtrack, punk rock soundtrack that are crazy. For people in Quebec that not aware of that project, how the band started up, how you girls and guys met.
Well, we met. We've been friends for years. I mean, we've all been like in the punk rock music scene in Valencia like forever, and this started because I was like I got like ill. I couldn't go like outside my house before all this COVID thing, and I was just bored and just started like with a drum machine and making songs at home, just like for fun, you know. And it ended up like being really cool. So I just called my friends and say, "Hey, I've got these songs. Do you want to play with me?" And that's it. And it happened.
That's crazy. You change a negative situation into something positive, and it's really cool.
That's really nice to say of you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it just came out of boredom and.
So when the pandemic hit, you were kind of ready because you were already staying at home.
Yeah.
So is the pandemic really give you like the time to really wrote songs and perfect the songs and everything? Or was it something that just before the pandemic you were planned to play and do shows?
No, it was. I mean, it started off like being just the things that were just off the top of my mind, you know, just like improvising and I used to go into. I have it like I record bands. I have like a small studio at home, like a mixing
Oh, cool.
studio, and so I just got in there, just press the play on the drum machine, and just like, and it was like first takes all the time. Like this is good, and, you know, it was absolutely thoughtless. So I don't know, and I think that's a bit of the thing with Podium. It's just the first thing that comes to anybody's mind. And well, I mean, I started making the first songs, but now we're like doing songs all the band together, and it's like the first thing that comes into someone's mind, and that's it, and it works. You know, I don't know.
That's really cool. And before the pandemic, how was the scene in Brazil? How's the punk scene? Is it alive? Is it going well?
Well, I've no idea how the scene is in Brazil. We're from Spain.
From Spain, I want to say Spain.
It's okay, don't worry. But yeah, I mean, the punk rock scene is in Spain, in Valencia in particular, which is the city I'm from. I mean, Valencia has a very, very long history of like bands and music and nothing like really famous, because in Valencia we have this thing where we love like creating, but all the responsibility part is like, you know, we don't like that much, like, you know, like having like labels and venues and all that shit, you know. But there's always been a lot of bands in Valencia.
Cool.
And yeah, it's cool.
And is it still healthy? Is there a lot of people attempt to local show, or is still a struggle for a local band in Spain?
Oh no! There's tons of local bands. And I'm actually really glad, because all like the younger people are I mean, they're into trap and all that shit, but they're also into punk rock, you know, and they're making bands, and that's the magic of punk, you know. You just grab a guitar, 2-3 chords, and you have a song, and it's super easy, and people are really into it. So I'm glad.
Yeah, it's cool because you have band like, if you see like Scape, they're so big. So there's a lot of band who forge the scene that are very well known and are kind of really big, you know. So it really put punk and ska in Spain scene. You know, people think about Spain. Oh, there's a scene there. We know that. So it's cool to see that it's healthy and that there's been like you that trying new thing, new approach, and give something different to the scene.
Yeah, thank you, man. Well, yeah, I don't know. As I said, it just was totally thoughtless, and it started off with a drum machine, so there's like no drum rolls and no shit, and that's how it sounds. But thank you for your compliment, man.
It's cool because having no drum is something that was kind of normal in Europe for a lot of bands. If you go to France, Barrier Noir was not using drums, and they had the drum machine. And there was Ludwig van 88 that did the same thing. And you don't see that a lot in the States and in Canada, but I find it really interesting that you bring that vibe of just creating around that drum track with the guitar and the bass and the vocal.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had like a love-hate relationship with drummers, because they're all like crazy. It's all this passion around. This, I don't know. They all go like a bit weird, and yeah, the whole drum machine thing was like, just, I mean, it's punk rock. You don't need to do any shit. You just go tutupa, and that's it, but we've never like played live. I mean, that was just the beginning, like the demos I did and shit. And we never really like played live with a drum machine. All the podium shows live were already with a whole band.
It's kind of genius because you save so much time without a fucking drum to get out of the band with the drums, build the drums, and wait that the show is finished if the other band use the drum, and skip that.
That's it.
So how's gonna be, the tour is starting up really soon. Are you excited about that after 2 years and more being at home? Just like see the people, feel the reaction of the people with the new songs.
We're super excited about the tour. I mean, we toured Mexico like in last November with Peter from Slovenia. He set all the tour up. He's great, and it was like, I don't know, we were like a bit frightened. It would work. We're not like a really well-known band, but everybody was like so nice, and it went so well that Pete just said, "Hey, let's do another tour in July," and that's it. So. And this time we're going to USA, Canada. I've never toured Canada or USA, so I'm really excited about that. Yeah, very much. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I hope so, yeah.
It's gonna be cool. You're gonna hit Montreal. You're gonna love Montreal. Montreal is really punk rock. I'm working to get you here in Quebec. I'm just waiting a confirmation from a local band. That would be rad. But you're gonna love the vibe. It's really European. Quebec is really like Quebec City more than Montreal. It's really with the castle, the Chateau Frontenac. It's like France. You're gonna fucking love it. We love to drink. We love to party. Weed is legal here in Canada. So yeah, man, we're party people.
That's great. So yeah, we love to party as well. So it's great.
And the timing for the band is kind of perfect. With the pandemic, people got inside. Some of us lose our mind. Everything is getting back as normal right now. People are freaking out. And the thing is, during those 2 years, people got time on their end. So they're listening to way more music and discover new band. So I think the wheel is ready for a shift with, the pillar, the band that are doing the headlines and the festival and everything. We're ready for a new generation of punk rock band. I don't know if you feel it.
Well, I do feel. I mean, punk rock for me has always been like evolving, and there's always like new. It's so easy to do and so cool. It's just and so satisfying. So it's always been like new sounds coming out, and I don't know. We really love all the Coneheads shit and all that kind of stuff. They like just change get the sound again inside punk rock. So. Yeah, I mean, we just do our shit, and we have all these like influences, and it just comes out.
Yeah, that's what I felt. There's a lot of influence in the band, but the cool thing is in Europe, it's pretty different than here in Canada and US, where our influences mostly came from the punk rock, the 80s punk rock scene from California. You will see that a lot, the
Yeah.
Fat Wreck related Epitaph Records and everything. Since we're so close to the US, and the band were touring like nonstop, we got that huge influence from that. But in Europe, it's pretty different. The punk rock was different. The vibe was different. If you compare England punk rock when it started up to the US, it was so different. So do you
It was,
still
yeah.
the vibe and your influences came more than Europe than the US?
Well, I don't know.
Tricky question.
It's a tricky question. I listen to a lot of music, and not just punk rock. I mean, lately I'm just listening like to ambient music, like Brian Eno, and I love that shit. Like you just put it on, it like gives like a nice scent to your house. You don't have to like listen to it actively. It's just cool. And there's actually a big ambient scene in here in Valencia. There's like a couple of labels and shit. And I mean, yeah, when I was like a teenager, I used to love No Effects and Pennywise and Lagwagon and all these kind of bands, Fat Wreck, Epitaph. And of course, it's an influence for me. Yeah, definitely. Maybe not as much for the rest of the band because they're like younger and maybe they weren't into that shit as much. But yeah, I mean, everything. I like just like music.
Yeah, I feel you. I've got labelized as the punk rock dude, but I was into metal before punk, and I love pop. I love country. I
Exactly.
think that's a good band in every style. You just have to find what you love. If you like it fast, if you like it slow, if you like it balanced, whatever. There's cool band in every style right now, and since the fusion of genre happened, in the 90s. Now it's just like, when you look at a band, you can see that they have way more than just one influence. Okay, let's go with punk rock and only punk rock. That's not happening anymore. We're listening into so much music with the streaming and everything that we're full of almost everything, every style, and that's cool. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And also, I mean, I've always loved like loud music. There's all these metal bands I also really like. I mean, Metallica. Fucking on the first album of Metallica from You're Amazing, and Pantera, and all these kind of bands. And there's a lot of Ministry. There's a lot of that in Podium as well. The Ministry, like all the repetitive shit. And yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's loud, it's good. If it's calm, it's good. If it's good, it's good, and that's it.
Damn right. The record is out. I listen to it a lot, like I told you. I love it. I love the vibe because, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's kind of different. It's really the raw energy of the punk rock. It make me feel almost from that you trying to do something as the first wave of punk rock, whereas just go for it. And I love it because I love technical punk, but in a way, punk has to be pure. It has to be, that thing that it's not perfect, and I love it because I felt that you're a live band. That energy from the records,
Definitely.
live
Yeah.
is way more.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, the record was recorded live in La Residencia. It's like, yeah, definitely. It was, and yeah, but for us, it's super important having that like really, you can tell that you're playing. It's just like all the digital stuff. You record digitally and just like get all these pieces of songs and put them in the right place and altitude and all that shit. No, just go for it. Just play loud and all at the same time in the same room, and I think you can feel the vibe on the record. Yeah.
That's so cool. How people can directly encourage you? You're gonna be on tour, and gas costs a lot. I know there's people that have money, music money budget. So how people can really help you out?
So sorry, what was that?
How people can buy your merch?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's actually we had like problems because all the pressing factories for vinyl, they're
Yeah,
like there's it's a tough moment for that shit. Because all the like major labels are going back to vinyl, and then they took away all our factories. But yeah, hopefully I think we will have some vinyl for the Canada tour, and we'll take some T-shirts. Yeah, definitely. I think we will. And actually, we're thinking of making a cassette as well. And I don't know. Yeah, we'll bring some merch on. Yeah, definitely.
It's cool because what I think that happened is that people that want to help a band want something, you know, as referring as collector. And I think the vinyl is the proof of that. People buying vinyl because they can listen to their own and streaming, but when they go to a show and they want to help the band, they say, I want a collector thing. So they buy the vinyl or the cassette because it's kind of vintage. And it's really cool. If people, you can do it, just fucking buy merch at the show, at the merch table, or buy it online. And if you're not, that's okay. Just go to see the band and sing the song. But it's in Spain, so it's gonna be tricky for people in Quebec.
It is, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I really encourage the collector thing, but for myself, for example, I love vinyl, but not because of a collector thing. It's because it lasts forever. You know, like digital is so fragile. I mean, you can just like erase just thousands of records in a click, you know, and a vinyl is like forever. I mean, if you don't break it, it's gonna like last forever, you know. And it sounds good. So yeah, I have a lot of vinyls which I actually listen to, but yeah, of course, and yes, of course, people in Canada, please buy our merch.
But it's a really interesting point that you're saying. It's true. Of course, there's the master. When I think it was Sunny or something like that, there was they got all the master of every major band, and it burns, and they lost it. But you're right. People that still have the vinyl got, you know, that vintage, and that it's the sounding of the vinyl too. You know, it's the only way to really listen the perfections of the studio work, because when you're listening to MP3, it's so compressed that, you know, you lost a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it obviously sounds much better. But the thing of, I don't know, I'm like really old school with that kind of shit, and then, you know, I have computers and on my thing, and having like the object and like putting it on and playing and just slapping it on, you know. It's not about a ritual of, it's just like, for me, listening to music is like that, you know, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm from that generation. I'm 40, and you know, when I love a band, I go buy a CD, a
You're 40,
cassette.
you look like a younger man.
Thanks. Yeah, I try to keep myself, but when I've got my beard, it's all blank. So, you know, I need to shave to just hide that I'm fucking 40.
You look good, man.
So yeah, and you know, I remember the bus ride, you know, with $20, waiting an hour to get the CD, and I have to wait another hour because I don't have anything to listen to it, and wait home, read the lyrics, and just, you know, blast it up so loud, and just like it blew my mind because it took 2 hours, it took time to get the money. So yeah, I think we're missing a point with all the free stuff on internet and all the downloading. But you know, it's a generation thing. Every generation has their own thing. As long as people listen to music and understand the importance of going seeing band live, I think it's gonna be cool. And I mean, you know, people, they want to see show. Every show I attempt since the last 3 months are crazy as shit.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I actually remember when I was a teenager, you know, it was like CDs and cassettes. So a friend of you would lend you a CD, and you would go home and record it on a cassette, and you would get the lyrics, and you know, because you listened while you recorded, so you would read all the lyrics, and it like took time, and I think that's all the digital stuff has lost a bit of that, which I'm not saying is bad, but you know, now it will get to the point where someone would say, "Hey, listen to this band." I will listen like for 10 seconds and decide if I like it or not. You know, it's like, fuck no, you listen to the whole record. You know, just be patient. And everything like now is going like faster, and you have to take decisions faster, and it's different. Listening to music right now in the 90s was different from now. You know,
It's fast. It's fast. It's like McDonald's. You get served in less than 2 minutes. It took 5 minutes to eat, and then it's done. It's 7 good minutes, but it's that for people, and people have to understand, you know, that listening to a whole album, it really gives you the whole vibe. Just listening to some songs, you don't get the whole feeling of the record and the atmosphere, and you know. So yeah, young kids, listen to a whole records. Don't listen to some songs. That's how you learn about the band.
That's it.
So with the tour coming, how's to be the rest of the years for Podium? Are you writing new song, or you just focus on the coming
Well,
tour?
yeah, no, the last since we came back from Mexico in November, we've all been like getting our shit together. We all have like active lives outside the band, of course, and we're not being really active, but we're rehearsing now. We're like preparing. I have like new songs I would really like to show to the band, and definitely if we take some time rehearsing, we will make new songs as well. So yeah, hopefully we have some new songs to bring to Canada. Yeah.
Oh, go to show. You will see. I'm gonna be there, Montreal, Quebec. Can't wait to see you. I mean it. Like, you're one of my favorite discovered that year, and I love the records. And we invite people, of course, to go check the band, like their Facebook page, go to Bandcamp, buy the CD, buy whatever you can, and just listen to it because it's fucking good.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, that's it.
We're gonna do a huge special before, of course, the tour, and we're gonna play a lot of songs. And I want to thank you. I mean it. Thank you for your time and generosity. I really had a blast.
It's okay, man. Thank you, man. That's really nice.
And keep ourselves in touch. And of course, I'm gonna send all the details when we air the interview. And we're not a podcast show. We're live in the studio. CKRL 89.1 is the first francophone station in Canada. Outside government, because there's Radio Canada, but it's the government thing. So we've been there for almost 50 years, and I'm really lucky to have access to the studio and everything. But we have the podcast available, of course.
That's great. Fuck yeah. Thank you, man.
So thank you. Here it's still sunshine out there.
Oh no, it's nighttime down here. Look.
So enjoy the rest of the night. And again, thank you so much for your time, Nick. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Have a blast with
No,
the tour.
thank you, Eric, for having us on your show, man. That's great. Thank you so much.
We're gonna wait for you in Quebec and Montreal. And thank you. I'm gonna keep you posted about the date in Quebec. And thank you so much, man.
Okay, Eric. See you in Montreal then. Or in Quebec.
Hell yeah. Cheers, man.
Bye.
Bye bye.